News 6 Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos. Live from clickorlando.com and WKMG, we're getting results in your neighborhood now at 5 a.m.
Historic day in the nation's capital as President-elect Trump gets set to be sworn in for the second time. The prep's underway and the promises he's already making for once he takes the oath of office.
And another blast of winter weather in Central Florida. Candace will be pinpointing the chill we're in for today and when we can expect the coldest blast of air.
All right, well, good morning. It is Monday. We'll get it together. It's 5 a.m. I'm Crystal Moyer.
I'm Bridget Ellison. Trooper Steve's watching your roads, and Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos here with some frigid temperatures for our forecast on this Monday.
You know what? Monday. It is. I mean, at the end of the day right now, temperatures are in the 50s, but it's one of those days where the temperatures are going to continue to crash throughout the afternoon. Some areas will be actually staying in the 40s today for daytime highs.
Yikes.
And parts of Florida under a winter weather advisory.
Right?
Wow. Okay, yeah, we're talking accumulated snow potentially, not today, but tonight into early tomorrow. All right, let's look here at the satellite and radar composite. We had a cold front that came through, brought us some off and on rain throughout the majority of the day. That cold air is starting to sink towards our northern zone. Still plenty of scattered showers right now across areas of South Florida. But in the meantime, though, a little bit of cloud cover, still creating some light misty rain right now across parts of Altamont Springs, Winter Park, out through Oak Hill and Edgewater. Most of this rain will kind of fizzle out and push out towards our eastern zones there. Take a live look outside downtown Orlando Skycam. Temperatures are cool out there. Right now we have a lot of cloud cover, but throughout the day, notice temperatures will be going warm to cooler throughout the afternoon. Temperatures will be down to about the upper 40s to low 50s by about 2 o'clock this afternoon. So temperatures out the door right now. We're at 41 in Ocala. We're down to 40 in Palm Coast, 46 in Leesburg. But notice where all that cloud cover continues to lie, we're still dealing with temperatures there in the 50s. We do have a freeze warning in effect for Marion and Flagler County until 10 a.m. as there will be some of those little spots, little neighborhoods that will have the potential of getting to those sub-freezing temperatures. But most of Sumter County, Marion, and Flagler remain under a cold weather advisory, meaning the actual temperatures between now and about 10 a.m. could be dipping down into those 20s and 30s. But look at the difference compared to Sunday morning. Right now, we are waking up between 13 and 32 degrees colder this morning than yesterday, and temperatures are going to be tumbling with potential of rain, snow, and sleet in the forecast in Florida. Not all here. We'll have more details on that coming up in just a little bit. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve. He's got your pinpoint traffic.
Man, I am so glad I am not the traffic safety expert in the Panhandle right now. To even just think about talking about that would be kind of crazy. So just make sure you're paying attention. If you've got somebody up there, let them know. We'll mention a few safety tips throughout the morning. But here in Central Florida, not going to be too bad for your roadways. They should not be affected. I-4 in Altamont right here, and then a DOT cam right inside Winter Park. You can see things flowing nicely. But Chief just said there could be some rain moving through within the next couple of minutes or so. So please just make sure you're paying attention. With the cold weather, you might not think the roads would be slick that early in the morning. 528 west of the airport this morning, looking right around the 6 mile marker. I know we talked about those purple lights out there. They're manufacturer default, but it still looks pretty cool. Roadways running nice and smooth this morning. Ladies, back to you.
Thanks, Trooper Steve. After months of campaigning and a historic Election Day victory, President-elect Donald Trump is set to take the oath of office for his second term in just hours.
At a rally last night, Trump promised a series of executive orders following his swearing in, covering everything from the border to diversity programs. Reporter Jared Hill is in Washington with details on what to expect. And our Matt Austin also in Washington right now. He's been speaking to Central Floridians who have made a change to their plans because of this cold weather really impacting D.C. today. A full report is coming up at the bottom of the hour.
Millions of TikTok users are breathing a sigh of relief this morning. The social media app back online after a ban in the U.S. last just hours. And this morning, the company behind the platform is crediting President-elect Trump. News 6's Mark Lehman is following the latest live. And Mark, Trump says he'll be addressing the ban later on today.
Yeah, President-elect Trump says he will sign an executive order before the end of the day. That was enough for TikTok to restore service to 170 million American users. But even though the service has been restored, there are a lot of questions about what will happen next. Now, TikTok has said that it would work with the Trump administration to work on a long-term solution to ensure that the app would resume normal operation. Now, what that solution is remains to be seen. Politicians from both parties have argued that in order to save TikTok, that would require a new law. For now, reporting live in the Content Center, Mark Lehman, Getty Results, News 6.
Mark, thanks.
New this morning, we're waiting for answers from Orange County deputies about what led up to a deadly shooting in the middle of a neighborhood. Investigators say a man in his 20s was found shot yesterday afternoon along West Ella J. Gilmore Street. That's just south of West 13th Street, off South Hawthorne Avenue. The victim was rushed to the hospital but died from his injuries. Detectives say everyone involved stayed at the scene there but did not say if the shooter will face any charges. Also new this morning, a historic church in Seminole County targeted by vandals. Now deputies are working to figure out just who was behind the racial slur spray painted on the side of the building. This is a picture posted on the Facebook page of St. James AME Church along James Drive. We have blurred out the message there. Investigators say deputies proactively painted over that graffiti and are currently working leads. Meantime, anyone who has any information can call the Seminole County Sheriff's Office or Crime Line at 800-423-TIPS. All right, turning back to your weather now. Candace, anyone heading out maybe to celebrate the holiday, maybe want to do some service projects, they're going to need to bundle up.
Absolutely. Now, today is going to be a nice dry day. We have a little bit of scattered showers. We got to work out of the system right now in areas of Seminole, Volusia County, very light misty rain. But today is going to be the driest of the days. Now, prepare yourself because Tuesday and Wednesday will be real cold and very wet. Temperatures out the door. Right now we're at 52 in Orlando, but look at as far south as Nashville. They're right now down to 10 degrees. Pensacola at 28. Now we are going to continue to see temperatures drop, and they will steadily drop throughout the day. So right now Reddick is at 39, Palm Coast 41, Altoona is at 44 degrees. We become a little more on the milder side the further south we go into Seminole, Orange, and into Brevard County. We're at 47 from Sanford through Longwood, 49 Pine Hills, Windermere, Azalea Park as well. And we're actually in the mid 50s further south you go into Osceola and southern Brevard County. But notice the highs for today. We're actually going to be a bit cooler than where we are currently. So our highs are almost hitting at this point of the day. We're going to be in those low 50s, upper 40s even throughout the afternoon. But notice those rain chances surging, but it's not warming up much. We'll have more details on what that means and the crazy winter weather it's expected here in Florida coming up in just a little bit.
Candace, thank you. 5:10, a new push in Tallahassee to keep school start times from changing.
Coming up, the newly proposed bill aimed at preventing the pushback of the morning bell.
Plus, a close call caught on camera as two men narrowly escape a train crash. The decision they made in just seconds has saved their lives.
And the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas holding the hostages and prisoners already freed, and when more are set to be released.
This portion of the news is sponsored by AutoNation.
Do you feel like we got results for you?
Absolutely. I don't think this ever would have got resolved without you guys helping me.
Right now, a ceasefire remains in place in the war between Israel and Hamas. It comes after 3 Israeli women held in Gaza for more than a year were released to their families. In exchange, dozens of Palestinians were released from Israeli prisons. The pause in fighting and the release of hostages is giving people in the region hope after 15 months of bloodshed and destruction. The full agreement for phase 1 of the ceasefire calls for Hamas to release 30 more hostages over a 6-week period, while Israel will send 1,700 Palestinian prisoners back to Gaza.
Once this door opens, it must not close. We must let all 97 hostages, now 94, come back home to their families.
Aid has also started arriving in the Gaza Strip, with at least 60 trucks waiting in line to enter through Egypt. 4 additional Israeli hostages are set to be released this upcoming weekend. That includes 2 Americans believed to still be alive. It's been nearly a year since the disappearance and murder of 13-year-old Madeline Soto. As the man accused of killing her, Stephen Stearns, awaits his trial, we're detailing all we know about the case. News 6 investigator Mike DeForest put together a 6-part series called Justice for Madeline. You can watch all of those segments, followed by a live Q&A with Mike tonight at 7 on clickorlando.com, the News 6 Plus app, and our YouTube channel. You can also ask your questions right now in the story online.
A theater in Paris went to the dogs over the weekend, literally.
More than a dozen pooches and their owners were treated to a very special movie screening. After a bit of sniffing and barking, 18 dogs were treated to a private screening of Walt Disney's 1955 movie, Lady and the Tramp. The theater says it plans on holding additional pet-friendly screenings, including the showing of the 1992 movie Beethoven.
Love
you know
it.
about the St. Bernard who gets adopted after escaping a pet store.
They're watching.
This needs to happen more often. I bet you they behave more than kids in those theaters.
It's true. Watching.
It's true. It's funny because we just finished watching Beethoven at home, so my kids are like on a. Can you watch those old movies, which are 90s movies? And Beethoven's one of them. It's such a classic.
Would Homeward Bound be one?
Homeward Bound.
Oh, get you right in the heart.
I love Homeward Bound.
Comes out of the woods at the end.
The cat at the end.
Oh,
my
man.
What's his name? Sassy,
Which one?
Shadow, and Chance.
Christina's so good.
I didn't guess all those. That was our director. You have to bring her to trivia nights anytime. All right, let's talk about your weather forecast. All right. Let's prepare ourselves for what's going to be a very chilly week ahead, guys. We're talking about temperatures this afternoon staying in the upper 40s, low 50s in the forecast. Then the cold rain, that returns come Tuesday and Wednesday. Basically, the same cold front that brought us the cold air is going to start retreating back north. We're going to tap into a lot of moisture coming in out of the Gulf of Mexico. So it's not just a few spotty showers. We're talking some pockets of some heavy rain, kind of tropical in nature where it's kind of all day tomorrow, but we're also going to be staying cold in the 50s. So it's going to be a weird thing that us here in Florida, we normally don't see. And because of that, something we don't see is winter weather advisories that are in effect right now across the Panhandle as far south as about I-10 in North Florida, as winter weather will be likely, not tonight, but into early tomorrow morning and into Wednesday. So as we look here, satellite and radar composite showing that cold front down to our south, still bringing plenty of scattered showers across South Florida. A lot of cloud cover still in place today. So as we get the clouds out of here, temperatures will drop. So freeze warnings still remain in effect for you guys in Marion and Flagler. Cold weather advisories extend for those two counties as well as Sumter County, as temperatures throughout the next few hours could get down into those 20s and 30s. At this point in time, it's not a frigid blast just yet. Again, that cold front just pushed out of Central Florida. So we're at 41 in Ocala, 45 in DeLand, 46 in Claremont. Our lows later on tonight are going to be a little chillier as we're going to continue to see those temperatures down into those 30s in our northwestern zones, down to about those mid-40s along the I-4 corridor. Now let's check on that hour-by-hour forecast for today.
Your weather forecast is sponsored by Fairwinds.
So we're going to get the cloud cover slowly moved out. We have a little more sunshine, but it's still going to be very, very cold. Highs in the upper 40s, low 50s. Again, that's where our highs are finishing off this afternoon. Then as we look here at the clouds and rain, notice by about daybreak tomorrow, we're starting to see those scattered showers roll in. It's going to be off and on rain throughout the majority of your Tuesday and into Tuesday night. This is 7 o'clock to Tuesday evening. You can see pockets of some heavy rain. Notice a lot of pink, even as far south as about Gainesville, potentially Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. And the weather and the rain continues even into Wednesday morning for many of us. And then we'll start drying out by about Thursday. So the modeling here is still showing plenty of rain for us here in Central Florida, but sleet making its way down as far south as about Alachua County in some forecasts. Snow could be possible along the Panhandle. But now you're asking how much snow? We could actually rack up about 4 to 8 inches of snowfall in the Panhandle by Wednesday morning, which is why there's a winter storm watch. I know. So you were thinking, we're just thinking it's going to be like a dusting. No, I mean, significant snowfall potentially across the deep south there along the Gulf Coast states. I kind of shook at Steve right now. And as a great result here, temperatures are not even going to be breaking 60 throughout most of the week. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve.
Man, the whole Homeward Bound thing. That's stuck in my heart right now. If you don't know what I'm talking about and you love animals, that movie. What's one of the quotes? It's like, you pushed me this far. I'm gonna push you the rest of the way. All right, we're talking about dogs here, guys. Like, they're not people. 528. Better, right? A little towards the airport, 408 this morning. Nice and clear out there. No issues, no crashes to report. It's a holiday. Not much going to be out on the roads this morning. No active construction, but come tonight till tomorrow, we'll start to see some stuff out there. Altamont Springs, Maitland, good morning to you. East and westbound on Maitland Boulevard running pretty smooth, whether you're on the east side here of I-4 or cruising through the Riverside Acres on the west side, approaching maybe 441. Apopka, Wekiva Springs. Nice and clear along 436 through the Forest City area. Goes back to you.
Thanks, Trooper Steve. Questions surrounding the future of one space startup in Brevard County.
And at the bottom of the hour, the questions we're working to get answered after learning the company got an eviction notice.
But first, when it comes to parenting, are you the strict one or the lenient one? How your own birth order could impact your parenting style.
No matter what's happening where you live, trust Sky 6 to get you the bigger picture. Exclusively sponsored by attorney Dan Newland.
Traffic doesn't happen in here. It happens out here and here. I'm traffic safety expert Trooper Steve. And yes, I am a real estate trooper. I grew up here. I'm the only traffic expert who's actually investigated crashes, who's patrolled these roads. I know how that traffic is going to affect your morning commute. So if you want real advice from my real experience on your Central Florida roads, you got to start here and you got to watch before you go.
It's 5:26 in your health headlines this morning. Whether you're the oldest, youngest, or an only, it turns out birth order can impact the way you parent your own kids. According to a recent study by the American Psychological Association, parents who are the oldest child in the family tend to be more structured and attentive when they have their own children. On the opposite end, the youngest child tends to be less strict and have lower expectations as a parent. When it comes to those who grew up without siblings, researchers say only children tend to be highly responsible parents and more organized. Well, still to come on News 6 Morning's TikTok, given a second chance in the U.S.
Ahead, after briefly going dark, the deal reached that restored the social media site to millions of users.
Get the latest news, weather, and more from the News 6 Plus streaming app. Visit the Apple TV App Store to download the News 6 Plus app today. Live from clickorlando.com and WKMG, we're getting results.
President-elect Trump set to be sworn into office in just hours. News 6 is in Washington with how the weather is impacting the plans of some Central Floridians.
Plus, TikTok is officially back in the United States. Just hours after it went dark, the steps soon-to-be President Trump is taking to make sure it stays.
But first, temperatures dropped drastically overnight, and Candace says we won't be seeing much of a warm-up for our Monday ahead. Good morning, Central Florida. It's 5:30. I'm Bridget Ellison.
And I'm Crystal Moyer. Thanks for staying with us on this Monday. We want to start with a check of your pinpoint weather with Chief Meteorologist Candace Campos. Maybe some kids out of school, parents out of work. What can we expect today?
It's going to be cold. Temperatures this afternoon are going to be staying in the upper 40s, like Flagler, Marion County. The highs, like the warmest part of the day, will be into those 40s. Elsewhere, we're going to be staying in the low 50s. So the majority of us this afternoon are going to be running about 20 degrees below average throughout the midday. And then the rain surges back with some of that cold weather, and that brings some interesting weather phenomenons that are going to be happening here in Florida. Not Central Florida, but a little further to the north. Right now, that cold air is really starting to sink in across the deep south. We still have a lot of cloud cover in place, which is also creating a little bit of rain right now in areas of Sanford through Oak Hill, Edgewater. A lot of this is just kind of that low-level cloud. A little bit of misty rain is possible at this point. We're at 41 in Ocala, getting close to those 30s in Palm Coast, but again, the cold air hasn't made its way here just yet. But it will continue throughout the day. So notice temperatures this morning are in the 50s throughout the day. We're really not going to be warming up much. Highs still in the low 50s as late as about 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. And again, rain chances, they come back with a vengeance tomorrow. We'll have more details on how much rain we could see and even how much snow parts of Florida could see. I know, weird. Now let's check on those roadways. With Trooper Steve, he's got your pinpoint traffic. There's also black ice potential this morning along I-10.
Oh my goodness.
Nuts.
Listen, the black ice thing, guys, you need to be super cautious. If you happen to be driving up there within the next 12 to 24 hours, it's almost similar to hydroplaning, but at the same time, when it's out there, you just don't know. So you got to be real careful. 436, nice and smooth this morning out by Apopka. Out on the east side, 434, which is Alafaya Trail. Whether you're in Orange County this morning or cruising northbound towards Oviedo, nice and clear in Seminole. 417 also belongs to you. Ladies.
Thanks, Trooper Steve. The countdown is on in Washington, D.C. President-elect Trump said to be sworn in for a second term in just a matter of hours.
He's promising a, quote, historic first day with dozens of executive orders.
I will act with historic speed and strength and fix every single crisis facing our country. We have to do it.
And this extreme cold is causing some big changes for today's inaugural events.
Yeah, News 6's Matt Austin is in Washington, D.C., talking with Central Floridians who are worried the temperatures will derail their Inauguration Day plans.
And be sure to keep it here on WKMG. CBS News has special coverage beginning at 9, leading up to the swearing-in ceremony expected to begin around 11:30. And we'll have a special edition of News 6 at 1:30 p.m. Then return you to Washington for full coverage of the presidential parade. And we're streaming all of the events today live on clickorlando.com.
TikTok is back in the United States. Just 15 hours after the app went dark, service was restored yesterday, and users were met with a message that said President-elect Trump's efforts helped bring it back. News 6's Mark Lehman is joining us live. And Mark, what are the next steps to make sure that the app stays active here in the U.S.?
Well, the first thing is an executive order following today's swearing-in ceremony. After that, President-elect Trump said he wants to craft a deal to keep TikTok up and running here in the U.S. And as of now, that would mean that the app would have to be sold to a non-Chinese buyer.
An assistant football coach at West Point High School in Ocala is facing charges this morning, accused of having a sexual relationship with a student. 43-year-old James Ford was taken into custody on Friday after police say a resource officer learned about the relationship. The girl told investigators the two began communicating by phone last January before the two began meeting outside of school. The student told police she and Ford kissed and had a sexual encounter in September when she was 16 years old. Ford is facing multiple charges.
The man accused of killing his neighbor while firing his gun to celebrate the new year is expected to face a judge again today. Kissimmee police say 44-year-old Carlos Tejadas hit and killed his neighbor Carmen Ochoa while celebrating just after the clock struck midnight on New Year's. According to police, Ochoa was sitting on her back porch when she was hit watching fireworks with her kids. Tejada was arrested Friday. He's charged with manslaughter and culpable negligence in Ochoa's death. And Candace, maybe those who are out doing some work outside, they're going to need to wear jackets.
Yeah, the parade routes, all of those parade routes are going to be chilly this afternoon. But notice temperatures right now at 52 degrees in downtown Orlando. So you're thinking, okay, it's going to be a warmer day if we're starting in the 50s. The only problem is that cold front just cleared, meaning that the cold air is making its way here. So temperatures throughout the day to about that 10 o'clock hour where most of those parades are going to be, we're going to be staying in those low 50s. So the temperature that's outside right now where you need the light jacket, maybe a little heavier jacket into the afternoon will certainly be likely. Temperatures out the door right now are at 41 in Ocala, 39 in Palm Coast. Now notice that cold air is slowly making its way further south. So tomorrow morning, it's going to be much colder before rain returns come Tuesday afternoon. But compared to 24 hours ago, technically, it's much colder than where we were yesterday. We are running between about 16 to more than 30 degrees colder this morning than if you were up this early morning Sunday. Rain chances, though, throughout the day are going to continue to stay dry today. No rain to be to contend with for any of your Martin Luther King Jr. events. But as we head into Tuesday and Wednesday, we're talking a very good chance of rain, not just a one kind of wave of moisture. We're talking off and on rain. We'll be pinpointing the timing of that coming up in just a little bit. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve. He's got your pinpoint traffic.
See, I knew that cold front was coming through because I was paying attention. So last night, outside, I was with the shorts. I was like, okay.
It's warm.
It's not going to be like this come the morning. Then sweatpants and the robe out there. Oviedo running smooth this morning. Not much going on the east side. And I do kind of think that we're going to have a pretty smooth morning. So please drive safely, nice and easy out there. Titusville down towards Cocoa. You guys look pretty good. Now, last Friday out on patrol, we were out talking about bicycle safety, bicycle lanes, the difference between lanes and paths, and who has the right of way in certain situations. Go check this out over at clickorlando.com. Ladies, back to you.
All right, thank you, Trooper Steve. 540, a company promising something new in the future of space, now facing an eviction notice.
Coming up, the answers we're working to get after learning it owes tens of thousands of dollars in rent. But first, a man arrested after deputies say he lured in a young girl and carried out a sex act. Why he's set to face a judge for a second time later today.
Trooper Steve on Patrol is sponsored by Gibson Truck World. We are the king of trucks.
Happening today, a man accused of luring a 13-year-old girl to his car before sexually battering her is due back in court to try and find out if he can get out on bond. The details are disturbing. Deputies say 41-year-old Luis Frias Jr. approached the victim and offered her a ride while she was walking to school earlier this month near Oak Ridge Road and Brook Green Avenue, and she got into the car. That's when the arrest report says Frias drove her to a Tangelo Park neighborhood, locked the doors, and carried out the sex attack. Frias was appeals in court on Saturday, but his bond hearing was reset until later today. Deputies say they are concerned there could be other victims. New this morning, experts are hopeful Florida's citrus industry will have a sizable upswing over the next decade. Florida's Agriculture Commissioner Walter Simpson says he's confident it'll happen if researchers can help develop trees resistant to citrus greening, a disease that's ravaged groves for decades.
I believe we can have a robust citrus industry, and I don't like to put it in these terms, but if 10 years from now we are back up to 50, 60, 70 million boxes, 3 to 4 times what we're doing today, maybe that spells success.
Now, it would still be well below the industry's peak. Experts say those numbers would be a noticeable change.
The year of the snake is upon us, and here in Central Florida, people are hoping to start the Lunar New Year right. That included a special festival this weekend at Luminary Green Park in Orlando. We got a look at the setup for the event. That included food and performances highlighting the diverse cultures of the Asian continent. The Lunar New Year will officially begin next Wednesday, the 29th. How cool.
Everything is always so pretty. You know, all those different lanterns and just all the, everything is just really
The year
pretty.
of the snake.
The year of the snake. All right. Well, happy birthday, snake. All right. I don't know. I know I'm the rabbit.
It's supposed to be about staying grounded.
Is that what it is?
Strategic. So
Well, you have to stay grounded if you're a snake.
that's why.
No name.
Yes. See, it makes sense.
It does
Steve
make
has
sense.
nothing to say.
All right. Well, you know what? All the reptiles that usually like the warm weather, not going to like the next couple of days as temperatures are going to be chilly. So let's kind of break it down to what you need to know. Today it's going to be chilly. We have plenty of cloud cover that will linger into the afternoon. Temperatures won't really surpass those low 50s across the majority of Central Florida. We're going to keep the chilly weather in place, but we're going to add wet weather on top of it Tuesday and Wednesday. A very good chance of rain off and on throughout most of Tuesday and into Wednesday. Thursday will be our last little pulse of moisture before Friday into the weekend. We're going to start drying things out by about Friday, which is also when we could see some of the coldest air of the week. But overall, it looks like throughout the next 7 days, we might not even break out a 60-degree range there, at least in Orlando. So here's kind of the wide view. I do include a view of the Gulf of Mexico because we're really going to be highlighting this zone here for a couple of little disturbances. So what's going to happen over the next couple of days is we have the cold air in place today. That cold front, by the way, is going to stay to our south for one day only. Then early Tuesday morning, we are going to see this cold front start to retreat back north. One, that already will be increasing our rain chances, but what's also going to be happening is we're going to start seeing disturbances riding along that stalled out front, and that is why we're going to have still cold air in place because that cold front is still to our south, but we're going to add rain to the mix, which is why we could see some record-breaking snowfall across parts of the Panhandle by Tuesday night and into Wednesday morning. So out the door right now, no snow to talk about, and we won't have any snow to talk about here in Central Florida. Could have some sleet as far south as about Gainesville, though, in the next couple of days. We're at 42 in the Villages, 46 in Daytona Beach. We're still pretty mild as that cold air behind that cold front continues to make its way further south. Now let's check on that hour-by-hour forecast for today.
Your forecast is sponsored by Publix.
Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day, temperatures about 53 degrees. That is our high. That is the warmest point of the day, so we're really not going to be warming up much. Temperatures will tumble before the rain and clouds get here. We're beginning in the 30s and 40s once again. So let me show you here clouds and rain forecast. The skies will finally clear out for today. We're looking mostly dry. Notice what happens, though. The rain starts to surge in from the south. That cold front will stall out, and then notice surges of moisture will continue throughout Tuesday night into Wednesday. Possible rain, snow, and sleet across the Panhandle will be likely in the forecast. So just do be aware, it's going to be cold, it's going to be rainy, especially as we head into your Tuesday and into Wednesday. And as you get results here with your full 7-day forecast, there you go. Probability of about snow will be possible there across the Panhandle. Now let's get results here with the full 7-day forecast. Good chance for rain, but staying pretty chilly. Now let's check on those roadways with Trooper Steve.
Makes me wonder that there's ever been a trooper that's done a crash investigation that had to write like contributing circumstances, ice, snow. in the state of Florida. We may have to check that out and see if anything happens over the next couple of days. I-95 out in Brevard County, no snow. You don't have to worry about any of that. No construction active right now. We're doing pretty good this morning. 528 out by US 1. East and westbound along 528. If you're headed out towards Cape Canaveral this morning, all clear. And then southern portions also looking pretty good towards Melbourne. Guys, back to you.
Thanks, Trooper Steve. The first set of hostages released in the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas.
Ahead at 6, the full breakdown on what the deal is expected to bring. But first, it's Inauguration Day for President-elect Trump, what he's promising to do right after taking the oath of office. Next, as we check our big stories.
Trooper Steve on Patrol is sponsored by Gibson Truck World. We are the king of trucks.
My wife's been in and out of the hospital. This was really going to help out.
So when you need results,
go to Channel 6.
It's 5:55. Let's check our big stories. President-elect Trump is set to be sworn in his second term today. Trump has promised a long list of executive orders after taking the oath of office, covering everything from immigration to oil drilling.
The man accused of hitting and killing a 6-year-old in an Apopka neighborhood will be staying in jail. A judge denied bond for Francisco Arreola yesterday, one day after he was arrested on DUI manslaughter charges. It was his third DUI violation.
You may be in for a bit of a shock as you head out this morning as temperatures have taken a tumble. Some spots will struggle to get out of the 40s today. Candace's full pinpoint forecast is coming up. Also ahead, a historic local church hit by vandals.
What police are saying about messages of hate left just before Martin Luther King Jr. Day.
Get the inside scoop on the latest forecast updates and more with the Pinpoint Weather Newsletter. Sign up today at clickorlando.com/newsletters.